President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday presided over the National Security Council meeting at the State House, Abuja. The meeting is being attended by the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, Chief of Staff to the President Professor Ibrahim Gambari, National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Munguno, and the Chief of our Defense Staff General Leo Irabo, among others. The President is expected to be briefed about latest security developments across the country. Before the commencement of the meeting, President Buhari, with the assistance of Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, decorated his aide-de-camp, Lieutenant Colonel Yusuf Makta Dodo, with his new red neck rank of colonel. Nigeria's Minister of Interior, Rauf Aribashola, has commissioned a new passport issuing facility that would offer the 10-year validity passport to Nigerians at the Nigerian High Commission in London. A statement on Wednesday by the Assistant Controller of the Immigration Service in charge of public relations, Amos Okbu, said with the facility commissioned on Tuesday, eligible applicants can now have access to a variety of options available on the enhanced e-passport categories. He said the options include the 5-year 32-page passport category, the 5-year 64-page category, and the 10-year 64-page category. Speaking at the event, the minister said that the enhanced e-passport is a great improvement of the standard e-passport introduced in 2007. According to him, the enhanced e-passport comes in polycarbonate data page, and with this, Nigeria is at the highest level of passport security and integrity in the world. The minister revealed that the Nigeria Immigration Service has issued a total of 2.7 million passports to Nigerians in the past 2 years, including the deployment of over 600,000 booklets this year alone to address rising demands for the document. Ahead of the March 16, 2022 change of government in Anambra State, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has placed the outgoing governor of the state, Chief Willie Obiano, on its watch list. In a letter to the Controller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service dated November the 15th, 2021, the Commission requested the service to place the governor on a watch list and inform it any time he is traveling out of the country from any of the international airports and other points of entry and exit. It is not clear why the anti-graft agency placed the governor on security watch, but sources said the move is an indication that the agency may have been discreetly investigating Obiano and possibly have intelligence that he plans to escape after he hands over power to his successor, Professor Charles Soludo. Now, a bill seeking to regulate public-private partnership in Nigeria has killed second reading at the Nigerian Senate. The bill, sponsored by Senator Adamu Aliero during plenary on Wednesday, is seeking to repeal the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission Act 2005 and enact the Public-Private Partnership Regulatory Commission Bill 2021.
And indeed, at any point, should embark on public-private partnership to ensure that we free our scarce resources for social development, particularly education and health and similar subsectors. I believe that at this point in our history, with very limited resources, we need to encourage the private sector to participate in the development of infrastructure in our country. And of course, this is the practice. But one thing is clear, that we have to provide the environment, a convenient environment, a safe environment for the public and for the private sector to be convinced that their investments will provide the kind of return that they aspire to get, and that there is the legal framework to protect their investments.
One of the major challenges affecting the growth of Nigerian economy is the huge deficit in both areas of social and economic infrastructure, like roads, railway, seaports, airports, the provision of affordable health care and medical services or medical facilities, to mention but a few. To bridge this gap, massive investment must be made in the expansion of the country's infrastructure services and beyond the resources and capacity of the government, which has been solely responsible for the provision of such infrastructure. Public-Private Partnership Regulatory Commission Bill 2021 will therefore be very key and central to leverage on private sector investment and capacity to bridge the country's enormous infrastructure gap through an effective framework for public-private partnership in Nigeria.
The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the alleged failure of the Special Public Works Scheme initiated by the federal government, which was meant to engage 774,000 youths. At the plenary in the week, the House mandated its committees on youths, labor, finance and appropriations to carry out the probe into the non-implementation of the scheme and report back within 2 weeks for further legislative action. The House also mandated its Committee on Appropriations to capture the scheme in the 2022 budget estimates. The National Assembly had in 2020 clashed with the Minister of State for Labor, Employment and Productivity over this scheme. Now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has dismissed insinuations from some reports that 4.5 billion naira was padded into its proposed 2022 budget. The spokesman of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, said the agency was inundated with calls and messages seeking clarification on an alleged insertion of 4.5 billion naira for the construction of police barracks into the NDLEA's proposed budget being considered by the Senate. He added that, quote, "It is public knowledge that President Muhammadu Buhari magnanimously approved the construction of barracks for NDLEA over a period of 4 years, starting from 2022 fiscal year. Investigations have confirmed that the amount in question is indeed for the construction of NDLEA barracks, but typographically inputted as police barracks in one of the documents attached to the proposal from the Budget Office. He noted that the typo error has since been corrected and the budget cleared on Tuesday by the Senate Committee. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 32-year-old drug trafficker based in Liberia, Maduabuchi Chinedu, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, with 9.30 kilograms of cocaine worth over 2.7 billion naira in street value. The Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA headquarters in Abuja, Femi Babafemi, disclosed this in a statement, stating that the NDLEA had intercepted 2.7 billion naira cocaine at Abuja Airport. It further says the suspect was arrested during an inward joint search of Ethiopian Airlines flight to the Abuja Airport yesterday, Wednesday, with 9.30 kilograms cocaine, which each pellet in candy wraps and concealed in his luggage. Meanwhile, Chinedu, who claims to have left Nigeria in 2018 to settle in Liberia, said economic pressure and the need to raise money to treat his mother for an eye problem led him to seek help from a friend who eventually gave him the drug to deliver in Abuja for a fee of 1 million naira. While commending the officers and men of the Naya Command of the agency, Chairman of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, charged them and their colleagues in other commands to always remain 2 steps ahead of merchants of death who are daily getting more desperate to make money at the expense of the image of the country. Now, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, said on Thursday that it had received another batch of 175 Nigerian returnees from Libya. They were received through the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos. The batch makes a total of 333 stranded Nigerians repatriated to Nigeria through the European Union Sponsorship Program for Nigerians who got stranded on their failed attempt in search of greener pastures in foreign countries. The returnees that were voluntarily assisted back in this batch consisted of 92 male adults, 6 male children, and 9 male infants. In addition, there were 53 female adults, 12 female children, and 3 female infants. Some of the returnees regretted wasting time and that they had earned money for a move that eventually turned out fruitless. The Consulate General of Nigeria in New York has taken possession of 3 Benin and life artifacts from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the United States. According to report, Abba Tijani, Director General of National Commission for Museums and Monuments, received the artifacts from the museum in the company of Lord Egopija, a Consul General of Nigeria in New York. The artifacts are 2 16th century Benin brass plaques and 1 14th century Ife brass head. Tijani, who signed a memorandum of understanding with Metropolitan Museum of Arts. Now, reactions have continued to trail the proposed industrial action to be embarked on by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. In few weeks, should the federal government and the union fail to find a common ground on the 2020 agreement reached by the duo. Our correspondent, Iboje, reports that some of the chapters of the union in country who are waiting for a directive from its national leadership have begun preparation for a total shutdown of the federal universities. His reports.
If we are talking about a conducive learning environment, we are talking about a classroom where teachers and students will interact and create knowledge. When we ask for funding to revitalize education, we are saying put reagents in the laboratory, put quality, latest, contemporary journals in our libraries.
While lending their voices to those of members of ASU and the Nigerian students at the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, Professor Julius Ihore said if the strike is allowed by the federal government, it will not only affect the universities but the economy of the nation.
Incessant strikes disrupt the academic calendar and contribute significantly to the poor quality of graduates in the country, with far-reaching implications for national development. Also acknowledging that strikes encourage brain drain, migration of students abroad, and low world rankings of our academic institutions. That the federal government has, since the last strike was called off in December 2020, continued to pass the buck, make excuses, and engage in diversions and distractions rather than meet the terms of agreement it signed with the union.
The Minister for Labour and Productivity, Senator Chris Ngige, while reacting to ASU's pronouncement, said there was no need for the union to be thinking of a strike action as the federal government is making arrangements to disburse 22.72 billion naira amongst the universities. On the position of the students, President of the National Association of Nigeria Students, NANS, Abdulmajid Oyeniyi, in a telephone interview, called on both parties to sheathe their sword in the interest of Nigerian students.
ASU and the federal government to shed their sword in the interest of the Nigerian students.
The outstanding demands of the union include renegotiation of conditions of service, injection of revitalization funds, payment of earned academic allowances, implementation of the university transparency and accountability solutions, amongst others. Iboje Warrior reporting.